Welcome to the Lancashire Lad podcast. So welcome to the Lancashire Lad podcast, and this week I am thrilled to have this gentleman on my show. Over the last couple of months I've watched his, last year I've watched his rise on social media, and it's been a pleasure to watch, and I'm privileged and delighted to welcome onto the show the one and only David Templar. How are you, my friend?
I feel like I need to open with Shirtless Chef, boy.
Yes. That's what I wanted. I was going to ask you to do that if you hadn't. So thank you for helping me out. So, yeah, let me just give a brief introduction about obviously why I've got you on the show. So for all my viewers that watch these shows, David is such an enthusiastic person that just sucks you in. And I came across him on TikTok and he introduced every video with what he's just done there. And he shows you how to make food in a really extravagant way that's fun and welcoming. And of course, he's a fitness extraordinaire, head fitness instructor at his own gym. Tell us a bit more about your gym, please, and what you do.
Yeah, so it's not actually my own gym. I just run it for somebody. I haven't got that amount of money yet, but it's called F45. So F stands for functional, 45 is the amount of minutes you work out for. And the whole ethos is life-changing team training. So it's about building that community, working out together, burning calories, having lots of fun. And getting in and out really quickly, I guess.
Ah, fantastic. So this is what drew me to it from the TikTok. So let's talk about the rise on social media. So you started off on TikTok with, as everyone does, with 0 followers.
Yeah.
So what was the thinking behind it all? What because that slogan literally just catapulted you. I mean, obviously the content as well, but it was that slogan at the start that literally went, phew. So what made you come up with that idea?
Do you know what? It's kind of one of those that's evolved over time. And if I look back at my content that I created when I first got on the platform, I'm like, oh, it's so bad. And I'm sure I'll look back at it now and think, oh, it's embarrassing. It's not that great. But so the whole backstory to it is, I did a TV show with ITV at the back end of 2018. And basically, it was a behind the scenes look at the casting world. So I actually went for a job as a TV presenter or an online content creator with Filippo Berio, the olive oil brand. Now, for whatever reason, the producers said to me, try and make olive oil fun. What are you going to do? And I said, well, I'll chuck it on the floor, slide around on it, take my top off, put it on me, whatever.
As you do.
Yeah, exactly. I got through all the stages and I was making videos for like the auditions and things like that. And then I got there on the day and they were like, are you going to do this? And I said, yeah, why not? And I think they probably work with people who say they're going to do stuff and then it never actually happens. But yeah, I put my top off, cooked it. Anyway, made a brat of myself on the show and nothing really came of it. But because I knew that was going to launch 6 months after filming, I sort of thought, right, how can I leverage this if it does well? So I started making Shirtless Chef content actually on YouTube at first. And then when the show launched, I had that big bank of content already saved up, but nothing really happened with it. But at the time, TikTok was launching, or they'd bought Musical.ly and they were transitioning into what we now see as TikTok. And they were doing an outreach of influencers to try and diversify their platform. So they were looking for PTs. And actually, in fact, they got me on as a PT at first. So I think I got paid £150 to set up a TikTok account. And I posted 3 videos. That was part of the deal, £150, £50 a video. But they actually boosted the content. So I ended up getting like 50,000 views on a video. And for me, that was mental because my Instagram is decent, but it's not like anywhere near the numbers that I'm getting on TikTok. Anyway, I saw that, started posting my own videos with like my own organic reach. And I saw that it was going down quite well. So moved across to the food stuff. And I don't really know, actually. I think I went to a meetup with TikTok. They did sort of like an Adobe workshop on how to improve your videos. And I got chatting to somebody there and they said it'd be really great if you could bring the Shirtless Chef stuff across. And I was a bit apprehensive at first because it's a younger demographic and it just felt a bit weird doing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've stuck with it. I started looping my videos. So I started saying Shirtless Chef boy at the end so you can cut it and start it at the beginning. And it just seemed to kick off. So yeah, I don't know. I can't even remember the video where I first started shouting it. But it's ingrained now, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, literally. I mean, I don't know how it makes you feel, but when I first discovered you, I wasn't even watching the videos at first. I was just literally watching the introduction, then going on to the next one, going on to the next, trying to work out what you were saying. Now, for anyone who watches this, and I'm sure a lot of your fans will as well, hopefully, let's just clarify once and for all what you are actually saying, because I thought you were saying Sunny Chef Boy, but
I've had all sorts.
yeah. What's been the worst one you've heard?
I think that it's like the ones that. So I'm saying shirtless chef boy to clarify, and it's the one people are like making up words that don't even make sense, like Shelly chef boy. I'm like, surely I've got my top off. It just makes sense, but until you know it, it doesn't really make sense, does it? But,
Yeah, but it's just brilliant. And there's other slogans that you use as well that are great. Like, you know, I was like, obviously. And you know, ooh, Waitrose.
another one.
Yeah. It's great though, all these little slogans, and it just really captivates an audience. And that's what it is, you know, you can have the best product in the world, but if the person behind it isn't that sort of person that people want to buy into, it'll go nowhere. And you just have a unique way of just coming across where it's just warm and it sucks you in. Yeah, it's great. So what, just a quick one as well. When you say "dece," what are you saying?
Dece, like as in short for decent.
Ah,
just
right.
like wide vocabulary of basically shit that I talk. It doesn't really make any sense, but it kind of is working for TikTok. But
Yeah.
as well, like the obviously, I think it came from a comment somebody said, and they were like, obviously you're gonna season that, and like there was little bits because you got to get it into a minute. I cut a few bits out, so then I took that and was like, obviously. And the what's the other one? The Waitrose. I remember the first time I didn't even like make note of that I was using Waitrose products, and somebody in the comments put, "Ooh, Waitrose, you're a Tory" or something like that. So I just that and turned it into something. So it's a way of making social media fun and lighthearted and just not taking yourself too seriously.
No, absolutely. Have Waitrose reached out to you at any point?
I haven't.
No.
I don't know if it's. I'm actually not taking the mickey out of it. I think it's a well-regarded brand, and I like using their products. So I'm like, ooh, Waitrose. So I don't know if it fits well with what they're doing.
I think they're missing a trick. I do.
I think they should pay me a lot of money to keep it.
Yeah, I agree. So I tell you what I've discovered I'm on most socials and stuff, and what I can gather from a lot of people is TikTok's looked at by Joe Public sometimes as a platform for kids, when actually it's really not. And there's a lot of businesses now that I think are starting to wake up to see how important that platform is. Would you agree?
100%. I can remember when I first got on it. I think the first probably year actually, because I got on it quite early, and it wasn't until lockdown 1 kicked in that older people started using it. But yeah, I'm so glad I got on it early. And the way I talk about it is your traditional sort of media where you drive past big advertisement boards and stuff. No one's doing that anymore. We're constantly on our phones. So even if you're not buying through TikTok, it's sort of that is where you're seeing that old traditional media. You're looking at it on your phone. So even if it's just an awareness piece, I think brands should be using that to get themselves out there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I'm trying to use it myself with the Lancashire Lad brand, but like I got quite a few followers early on because I was making silly videos. I think I've got one that was up in 900,000 for a view. It was a silly video, but now I'm actually trying to push the podcast. I'm not getting as many sort of watches and likes, so maybe I need to sort of try and incorporate it like you have. You know, with a bit of fun as well. So it's something to think about. Now, what people might not know is via TikTok, a famous interaction came about with Gordon Ramsay. Tell us what happened with that.
So Gordon Ramsay launched his TikTok profile, and he was doing a whole campaign called Ramsay Reacts. So I actually got a little heads up from somebody at TikTok. So because I've been working with them for a while, I knew that the campaign was coming, and they said, put a video in, use the hashtag, and we'll see if we can get Gordon to react to it. Anyway, lo and behold, he reacts to a lady, I think it was an American lady the first time, who made fish and chips in the microwave and absolutely slated her. And it was my turn. I made some meatballs that actually was the IKEA recipe. And he absolutely went to town on me. But now that we've seen him do it to literally hundreds of people, he's slated everybody. Unfortunately for me, I was the second one to get reacted to. And it kind of was like a bit, it wasn't as good for my social media profile as I thought. I was literally doing 40K new followers a week.
Yeah.
And as that happened, it was like, oh, you're a rubbish cook. Gordon slated you. And it actually went
right.
a little bit. Yeah,
So it's like discredited you a little bit.
kind of, yeah. But I mean,
yeah,
press is good press, isn't it? But yeah, I was on a pretty decent roll before that, and then it sort of went.
God damn you, Gordon. God damn you. Yeah, he does seem, I think a lot of it's showing it with Gordon, I think sometimes. I think he knows what he's doing. And to be fair, you could cook something that was absolutely 5-star and he'd still piss on it, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
So
one of my friends is a Michelin star cook, and he said there's absolutely, so basically one of the things he said was cook out the flour, you donut. And he was like, there's absolutely no way that he would have known that you hadn't cooked out the flour from that like quick little clip. It's just like things that he was saying. Anyway.
Yeah, it's class. What's going on with the visiting to restaurants then? Is that something that's taken off here? Are people contacting you? Because I've noticed that you've been recommended to go to certain places and you go and you have breakfast or you have lunch. And then as you're walking away, you sort of give your review on it. Is that something that's getting more and more busy for you?
Yeah, it is. I think so. Take it back a few years. I was working in the corporate world. And then when I quit, I was trying to monetize everything in my lifestyle. So I was looking at what things that I like doing and thinking, how can I make this into something that's going to, like, I can make money from? So one of those things, I love eating out and I love trying out new places and things like that. So I just thought I'm going to start reviewing things. But obviously because of lockdown, we haven't been able to do that for a long time. So I'm just picking back up where I sort of left off. But also there's kind of a nice feeling about it as well. Like if you go to a small restaurant that no one's heard of, especially off the back of the pandemic, and you give it a good review, like the bakery that I went to last week, the lady who owns that was absolutely buzzing. I think it got 50,000 views. And it doesn't seem like anything in the grand scheme of things to me now, but the knock-on effect it has on businesses like that is amazing. So yes, I'd love to get paid for stuff at the end of the day, but even just helping out these small businesses, it feels pretty good. And also you've got to understand that that's making content for me as well. So even if I just go and buy my lunch and then make a video of it, it could get 1 million views. And it's obviously good for the company. It's good for you. If people like your review and stuff, they're going to follow you. And at the same time, it's benefiting the company. So yeah, not everything's paid for, but there's sort of things that you need to do for free until it leads on to other stuff, which I don't think a lot of people are willing to do. And like I've been grafting on here for 2 years and it's all going in the right direction, but there's an element of it. You've just got to put the hard work in and do unpaid stuff and hope that it leads on to it.
No, I think delayed gratification is something a lot of people struggle with. You know, they want it. It's been a bit like this for me with the podcast. You want it all to happen so quickly, where in reality, it's all about enjoying the journey as much as the goal at the end. And you know, obviously along your journey, every time I've ever seen a video of you, like you've all got a smile on your face, you're always enjoying it. And in turn, that's what creates such a good following. I mean, looking at, I just looked at your TikTok before, you're coming up to 500,000 followers. That's close, isn't it? Yeah, you know, which is fantastic. And on Instagram, you know, you're up to nearly 25K and stuff as well. So, I mean, do you get a lot of people, do you get a lot of weird messages off people at this point?
Do you know what? So Instagram, I've got a really, really engaged base, and that sort of hasn't moved for a long time. I mean, I hit 20K fairly recently, but it hasn't grown massively. And I go out of my way to sort of interact with people. I reply to all DMs and everything, as long as it's something worthwhile. And then the benefit of TikTok is unless you follow people, they can't actually DM you. So you'll notice I don't really follow many people, mainly because it would take way too much of my time to respond. But yeah, I mean, there's the odd few messages, and like I try not to take too much notice of the comments and stuff on the videos.
I notice you do reply sometimes.
Yeah, but genuinely, I think sometimes people say stuff that is just a complete throwaway comment.
Yeah,
and it's going to have any impact on anybody. And I'm quite thick-skinned, although like some stuff does get to me. But I think by replying, you either make people aware of what they're doing, or sort of give it back to them in a way that makes them look a little bit silly, and maybe it will make them think about doing it next time. But again, I just like to have a bit of light-hearted banter with people. and hopefully it goes down the right way with them.
Yeah, no, fantastic. Let's talk about obviously the main job you do, which is obviously fitness instructing and changing people's lives. So what does a typical day look like to you? You know, with what time do you get up? Do you have set plans, a diary that's structured? And just for people that are looking to change their life, you know, just what's your typical day?
So yeah, today I got up at 5 o'clock. I've PT'd this morning. So I actually PT one of the ladies at head office at TikTok. So did that this morning. Got my own sessions in, and then we run a lunchtime class at my gym as well. So I've just done that. I've come back, made a video. I'm on this podcast with you.
Yeah.
A brand deal to do with the South Korean something or other. There's a product called ginseng, and I've got to incorporate that into a recipe. Yeah, and then I'm doing that this afternoon, and I'm back in the studio tonight, and then I'll make another recipe and then go to bed. Up at 4:30 tomorrow.
So what time's bedtime usually?
Wow. I've just moved into a new flat, so every day I'm getting new flat pack furniture, and the bedtime's later and later. But typically I try to get into bed at 10:30 and then sort of fall asleep between 10:30, 11:30.
So early to bed, early to wake. That's your sort. Fair enough. I think there's a big demeanor about times and stuff with people. I remember I'm in the process of trying to get myself into a better shape now, and I think a lot of it sometimes is if you start the day late, you're always chasing, aren't you? And it's hard to keep up with it. What's the passion then behind the fitness? When did you decide you wanted to get into that, and what fuels you every day?
So my background, I was actually a GB gymnast until I was 15 years old. So that's all I knew growing up. I was playing sport, literally, like I was training 9 times a week, waking up, going to school, coming back, gymnastics, literally in that routine. And then I guess I went down the route that I thought I should be doing. So I went to college, went to university, got a degree, got a graduate program, went traveling. And it wasn't until I came back from traveling that I was like, this really isn't what I want to do. I wasn't made to sit at a desk. And I actually started documenting my traveling, and fitness was a massive part of that. And I just think for me, I realized that yes, you can stay in shape by exercising, but it's so much more than that. And I think when I went traveling, I was boozing loads. I wasn't really eating particularly good food, but I managed to stay in pretty good shape because of that exercise.
Yeah.
Then when I came back, it sort of went the other way. And I wasn't having much fun, but I was like working out loads. I was grinding away at my corporate job, and I thought there must be some sort of balance in between. And that's what I sort of am striving to show people, that you can live a non-restrictive lifestyle. You just need to get exercise and fitness into your day-to-day life. And for me, there's lots of ways that people manage with everything. I just think exercise for me, it just makes everything seem linear. If I wake up in a bad mood or I'm tired or something, I exercise, everything makes much more sense. I'm productive, and also like when you're looking good, you're feeling good. It just benefits everything. And I feel like there's a lot of knowledge in the knowledge in the fitness industry isn't particularly being shared with people. And I'm trying to use that platform to tell people everything they need to know to never have to buy into any other program again. And luckily for me, I'm monetizing the other bits, which enables me to give that information out. So it's basically just an open book for people to benefit from.
No, it's a great outlook, of things. So anyone who's watching this that's probably sat on the sofa, maybe eating a packet of crisps, overweight, feeling a bit demotivated, what would your main advice be? What would your main advice be to making that first step?
First, I think just don't put any pressure on it and actually do something about it. So if you're not exercising at all, you've got a bad diet, just pick one thing and try and make some sort of consistencies throughout your days and weeks to get to where you want to be. So even if it's just, I'm going to go for a walk 3 times a week, then up in that, I'm going to go for a walk and I'm not going to eat that packet of crisps. Just literally doing it in your own time. But also educating yourself along the way. I think that's the massive thing, because people demonize foods or look at foods as good and bad, but having a packet of crisps in the grand scheme of things, what is it, 250, 300 calories? It's not that bad for you. If you are going for a walk and it's burning that, you've sort of negated it. And as long as the rest of your day is fine, then it's not going to have a detrimental impact on it. So I think knowledge is definitely power, and knowing, I mean, not even just about food, it's about anything, isn't it? If you upskill yourself in anything, you're going to put yourself in a better position. But yeah, I mean, slow and steady. It seems really cliche, all the stuff you say, but it's just the fact of people don't do it. So when you tell them to do stuff, it sounds cliche, but just get started.
Give us a food that 9 times out of 10 people won't have in the diet that we should put in it? A random food that you think has improved your life or improved your daily routine, shall we say, or anything along them lines. I know I've put you on the spot. I just want to see what you say.
I'm actually going to say turmeric.
Right.
And it's not one that's particularly indulgent, but it's actually one that's changed my life. So I had a shoulder injury for about 18 months and I couldn't do anything about it. And I tried everything, scans, paid so much money to do stuff. I've started taking daily turmeric shots, and it sounds like I'm plugging this now because I do work with a company, but genuinely, I'm so passionate about it. It just reduces inflammation, and I feel so much better when I'm taking them. So,
is it coming in a liquid form? Obviously, you don't get the spoon out and.
No, I've got it as a little shot, but you can get powdered, whatever. You can get tablets, whatever it is. But yeah, it's 35 milligrams in a little shot, and it just keeps me ticking over, I think. And maybe there's a partly a placebo to it, but that's one thing that I didn't have in my diet that I'm benefiting from now. But also, I've just bought an air fryer. So
right.
I like chucking anything in the air fryer. I know it's not good again, but chips in the air fryer, brilliant. Not that bad for you. It's basically putting a potato in. And it makes it taste like deep fat fried chips. So that's my answer today. It'll be different.
There we go. So there we go, guys. Turmeric and an air fryer. That's all you need. Then you can look like David.
But I've actually got calories that I always talk about. I started doing 500 calorie meals just so people have an idea and a perspective of what they're putting in their bodies. And I don't know if people follow me on all different platforms, I was doing 500 calorie workouts and 500 calorie meals. And it wasn't to say, do this workout and you can earn the right to eat this food, but it was putting things into perspective. And I think, again, it leads back to the knowledge part of things, but that was what I was trying to do.
Wicked. Well, I've actually got a bad rotator cuff at the minute, so I'm gonna try this turmeric, and I'll DM you and let you know how it goes.
Definitely.
See if it does anything. So with the social media rise as well, etc. Has it sort of brought you closer to any well-known names? Have anyone of celebrity status reached out to you at any point or anything like that?
Depends celebrity-wise. I mean, I don't really look at them as celebrities.
Yeah.
The one that I still do get a bit starstruck with, and it's weird because we're now mates, and he messaged me yesterday, is Connor Ball from the Vamps. And I actually met him randomly on a night out. And yeah, he messaged me yesterday saying, can you do me a favor? And I was thinking, can I do you a favor?
Show me the tickets, Connor, and then I can.
And he's like, oh, yeah, we have to go for a beer. I'm thinking, I'm going to go for a beer with Connor Ball. And he's like, bloody so much younger than me as well. But I just think there's a bit of that I just think is amazing. No,
it's cool. I love things like that because as we said before we started recording, I'm in the music industry myself, but I'm a backing track singer, etc. I do a lot of weddings and birthdays. And that led me to watching a singing lesson recently. Do you know anyone that had a singing? Oh, yes, you. That was awesome. I watched that from start to finish. I couldn't stop watching. To throw yourself out there in that situation, because I'll tell you this now, I've had a few singing lessons in the past, and how intimidating are they? Like, you want to be humbled. That honestly is, I've never felt more awkward or nervous in my life. And that girl is a good friend of mine. I've known her since university, and I kind of did it because she's similar, singer-songwriter, looking to use social media as a platform to boost herself. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do this. I wanted to do it as well, but I wanted to do it to help her as well. And yeah, I just felt like a little schoolboy laughing for an hour. Yeah, it strips you back, doesn't it? It takes all that wall you've got, that exterior wall, it just rips it down, and you're left there like a little boy going, ooh. Yeah. But no, you did a good job, mate. It was good. Have you got any aspirations to sing at all? Do you know what? I started a content piece, and it was like I backed myself to be able to do anything average or above. And I like fancy myself to be able to sing a little bit. I like just doing stupid stuff. Like if you could get a group of mates and just make up a little song and do a video to it, that's funny for me. But no, I just wanted to give it a go, to be fair. I think that at some point over the next 6 months, one of these TikToks has to involve you singing through it all. So I need to look into it more. But the email that I got today about the new Gordon Ramsay thing, I think it's either singing or a beat related. So watch this space. It might come soon, a new thing. And actually, I used to do
This was years ago when I was trying to like find my niche, rhyming recipes. So maybe make it into a song. We'll see.
No, I look forward to it. I mean, because you can hold a note, you can definitely sing. So I was a bit like, he's better than me. So, I've lost you.
I'm singing everyone, annoying people now.
Say that again. Sorry, you froze on me.
I said, don't start telling me I can sing because I won't stop.
Yeah, no, mate. I want to see you singing and stuff. So you do a bit of extra work as well, don't you? And acting. Or have I read the wrong thing?
I did. I was signed up to an agency for a bit, and I was doing.
Must have been when I googled you to find a bit more information out. I'm pretty sure it said extra work at actor.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it. It's led me onto a few TV shows, but I wouldn't say they're anything to write home about.
Right? Is it something you're not interested in pursuing? No.
I definitely would do it. It's just I think even now at the moment I'm trying to spread myself too thin, so just adding another thing into the equation, I just think it would be even more difficult. But yeah. Don't write it off. I'm definitely up for doing anything. Well,
you've got a new project coming up, haven't you? And you're looking for some help. What is it you're going to be doing? And or can you announce that on this show or not? Or is it something that you keep under wraps? Tell me more about it if you can.
Shall I announce it now? No. So basically, I'm one of these people who I need a long-term goal or something to aim towards. Now, as head trainer at F45, just turning up and doing the classes, teaching 20 hours a week, whatever it is, isn't enough for me. I want to add value to that studio and see what more I can get out of it. So the whole way my social media account started, I did 365 days of hits. So when I was traveling, I did a workout every day and documented it while I was traveling. So I was going to Machu Picchu. I was all of these locations around the world doing that. And I kind of want to revisit that because I think fitness underpins everything that I'm doing. But if you looked at my social media, you'd see a bit of everything. Like Instagram's more lifestyle stuff, but I'm getting the recipes over there. There's a few workouts. There's me and my girlfriend. There's all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
TikTok, the best content there that I know performs well is the Shirtless Chef stuff. So I want to try and keep to that. But I want to start YouTube. I mean, I've got 3,000 subscribers or something like that on YouTube, and it just seems like it's underutilized at the moment. But I want to really focus on YouTube from a fitness perspective. Now, I'm looking to hire an intern. So I want somebody working solely for me for a year, sort of like a videographer, editor, anybody who's got a passion for fitness, knows about sort of everything social media or wants to learn. And at the same time, I can leverage them through my social media channels. So I just want to work closely with somebody and just make YouTube a thing. Now, the idea for it is to do functional training for a year. So use my gym that I'm currently head trainer at as a hub, but then also go out to other functional spaces, do workouts at their gyms, review them, but also sort of get some of my lifestyle into that. And again, playing on the calories, 500 calorie meals, everything like that, just showing people my lifestyle and how you can maintain this physique sort of thing. Now, at F45, there's something called the playoffs. So it's 10 exercises. You do them back to back. It's 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off. And I want to get the highest score in that. So everything that I'm doing training wise will be geared towards that. So sort of similar to the CrossFit Games or something like that. There isn't anything at the moment, but I think by documenting it, it might even become a thing. They do a playoff event, but I want to make it bigger and better. And for me, that'd just be brilliant because I'll be practicing what I'm preaching. I'm training in the gym. I'm documenting it. I'm doing all my training geared up to this sort of 10 exercises. It's functional. It literally is what I live and breathe. So in a nutshell, that's what I want to do. And I want to get somebody else on board to help me bring that to life.
So if anyone was interested in that, how would they contact you?
Email is probably best actually. So temptation@litness.co.uk. But yeah, the search is on now. I mean, I want to try and get somebody.
The search is on.
Yeah.
So I love that. The search is on. Because them CrossFit Games are mental, aren't they?
Oh, savage.
Like, I forgot his second name, but that Matt Summit that's won it for last. Jesus Christ, that man is absolutely insane. Yeah. I thought that Rick, whatever he was called, I thought he was the GOAT. But then, do you remember Rick Froning, is it?
Richard Brody,
yeah, he was dominant for a couple of years, but then this Matt Fraser's come along, and I bet you're surprised. I know about that, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I watch it a lot, and they're absolute animals. I don't know, well, in the nicest possible way, if you get what I mean.
I'm sure they'd love to hear that. The ladies are incredible as well.
Yeah.
What they can do.
They're all called David's daughter or David's daughter, or whatever.
Yeah.
Crazy. So, what was I going to? That's it. Away from fitness and things like that, are you into sport? Is sport hobbies or anything like that, musical wise? What do you like?
I love it. I love playing tennis, swimming, golf, literally anything. I'm wasn't a bookworm at all growing up. I literally every bit of spare time I was out and about, like playing like a real kid, which you're probably used to as well. It's none of this social media stuff now, which is funny because that's what I'm doing now. But yeah, I like anything, traveling, water sports, everything and anything. I'll give it a go.
What's your handicap in golf?
Don't even ask. I'm the most inconsistent golfer ever, which is embarrassing because my uncle's a pro. And yeah, my iron game is pretty good, but my drive is so inconsistent.
That's me. That's me.
To get it over here.
Hey, we'll have to have a game. We'll have to have a round one day. See where we settle. If you like a good book, by the way, my friend's just released one. She's a motivational speaker. She's called Danny Wallace. She's just released a book called I Am the Queen Bee, and I've just started reading it. It's probably right up your street, actually. So I'll send you the link for it if you want it. Yeah, but it's a really good book. So, wicked. So what I'm going to do is, with every guest I have on the show, I do a 10-question shootout at the end. It was made famous by James Lipton, who used to host Inside the Axis Studio, and the questions were designed by Bernard Pivo. So I'll ask you these 10 questions in a second and see where we get. But before that, just so people can follow you on your socials, how did they get in touch with you? Not in touch with you. How did they follow you on your socials?
So everything, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok is Temptation. So TEMP_TATION. And I've got Twitter, but I don't really use it, and it's a different.
Yeah. I joined Twitter about 3 weeks ago. Only 10 years late to the party, but it's a bit like I'm like, how do I get around this place? I don't really know. So it is what it is. But listen, I know you're an incredibly busy man, and I hope this is, the first of a few podcasts with you over the years and stuff. I'd like to get to know you a bit more and be able to talk about things down the line and see where you're at. What does the future hold for you then? What's the goal? What's the holy grail, if you will?
Good question. I always wanted to be a TV presenter when I was younger, so I'm sort of bringing that to life through social media now, which is filling a void for what I wanted to do. I mean, I'd love to open my own gym one day. I've got the online PT program going. I'd love to bring that into an actual tangible place and meet the people that I'm working with. I think that's something that's a bit weird with the online world. You don't actually get to meet people face to face a lot. But yeah, I mean, I've spent so much of my life just trying to plan 5-10 years, especially in the corporate world. And I think now it's a case of being present and enjoying what I have. When I take a step back and look around at what I've achieved now, I'm very comfortable, and I want to enjoy that now while I can. So it's a good thing, actually. I've met my girlfriend, and she keeps me pretty present and makes me realize that we're not always going to have this time now. So I think as well as it is good to look into the future, especially after COVID, I just want to get out and enjoy myself, really.
No, what a great way to look at things and stuff. And when you get a good woman in your life, it's always nice to, should we say, return the balance to your outlook and things like that. As you know, I've just had twins, so my life's all over the shop at the minute. So it's all good. So listen, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to ask you these 10 questions, and then we'll wrap up and stuff. But no, you're a top lad, and it's been great to chat. So here we go, my friend. Quick fire answers if you can. So question number 1: what is your favourite word?
Boy.
Yes. What is your least favourite word?
The C word.
Yeah, I agree. What turns you on?
Bums.
What turns you off?
Bad manners.
Yes. What sound do you love?
The ball hitting the back of the net is the first thing I think of.
Oh, fair enough.
Football.
Who do you support?
Portsmouth.
Oh, wicked. I'm a Liverpool fan. What sound do you hate?
The alarm at 4:30 in the morning.
What is your favourite curse word? Oh, deep thought.
Yeah, shit.
Shit. Yeah, fair enough.
Accentuate the T at the end.
Yeah, shit.
Like a proper shit.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
TV presenter, properly.
Yeah, we should do it together. We could call ourselves Ant and Dick.
Yeah. Ant and shit.
Yeah, something like that. What profession would you not like to do?
I was riding behind a garbage truck today, and it absolutely stinks. I don't know how to do that.
Well, fair enough. I think that's a sensible answer, if I'm honest. And finally, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Oh, hello, boy.
Yes. Oh, Shirtless Chef boy. Can we get one more?
Shirtless Chef boy.
Yes.
How soundproof these walls are. My neighbours are probably like, oh, for goodness sake.
Yeah. No, fair enough, mate. Listen, thank you so much for joining me, mate. I've had a real hoot with you. And like I said, hopefully we can get lots of views. And this is probably a great way for a lot of your fans and followers to see you in a different light and sort of find out a bit more about you, which is what I want to sort of create with these things, So it's been a pleasure having you on, and I appreciate you scooting the diary around to accommodate me. So that was an episode of the Lancashire Lad with the fantastic David Templar, aka Shirtless Chef boy. You can follow him on all those platforms, and hopefully we'll see him again in the future. Thank you very much. Please click subscribe and follow my journey as well as David's. Cheers, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you, bro.